Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build, and this is gonna be like a little fresh food market that's on a farm. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna call this video because it's not quite a farmer's market, but it is a farm market. Basically, the idea was I wanted to create one of those local markets I see a lot in New England that is like a converted barn and there's chickens and cows outside and you can go buy some local produce and eggs and things like that. I thought it would be a really cute idea now that we have businesses and hobbies and it can be functional. So that is exactly what we are doing here today. And I'm actually building this in the world of Chestnut Ridge, which is the world that comes with Horse Ranch. I don't remember the last time I built here, and I thought it would just be a really nice space to create this little market. So I really hope you'll enjoy this one. If you do and you'd like to download it, it is available right now on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will be in the description down below as well. Also, I just wanted to let you know that there is a massive spring sale going on right now on the EA app. You can save up to 50% on select packs like Growing Together, Horse Ranch, For Rent, and more for half price. And some of the newest packs are on sale too. Love Struck is 38% off, and Life and Death is 25% off. The sale is from now until March 27th, so if you've been thinking about picking anything up, now is a great time to do so. And if you do, please consider using my code Gryphi at checkout. It doesn't cost you anything extra, it's just another way to support me as a creator, as I get a 5% commission on your purchase. Thank you in advance if you decide to use my code, and thanks to EA for sponsoring this portion of the video. So I did start this build by just grabbing a couple of items I knew I wanted to use. There's this really cool archway sign that came with Eco Lifestyle that just felt like it was perfect for this sort of market. I also knew I wanted to have the chicken coop and a couple of other items, and I'm just trying to lay out where I think some terrain paint is gonna go. Spoiler alert, I do end up deleting all of this terrain paint and redoing it, but I didn't want it to just appear on screen and then suddenly be there. So I decided to leave the process in of me kind of drawing it out. I guess it's kind of like what I do to sort of sketch out an idea in the game. So I was trying to figure that out and placing down some of these garden plots. I thought it would be nice to grow some larger produce here as well. And I am fencing in this area, which I'm actually going to expand a little bit later once I decide I want to add a cow as well. It's a fairly small lot, so I didn't have a lot of space for like multiple cows or llamas, but you could probably get the mini goats. I think that would be really fun to put here, and I only end up having one chicken coop, but you could probably get more than one. However, one can hold up to 8 chickens, and I just think it would be really cute to run this space and sell fresh eggs, or maybe have like kids come here and like interact with the animals, like pet the chickens. That just sounds so cute. I love things like this. I have gone to so many little markets like this all year round. I feel like I go to them more in the fall, but they are open year round and have some really cool local things. And it's been actually a little while since I've gone to one, so I might do that sometime soon. I would love to know if this is something you also experience in your area. I'm not sure if all areas have these. I would assume so, at least in the US, but I'd be very curious to know based on obviously the location and weather, if it looks like this or if this is the kind of thing that you sometimes visit. But yeah, just working on some of the landscaping now, trying to figure out some of the trees. I also put some rocks around. I am using trees that look like the ones in the background of the lot so that it looks like this fits into its surroundings in Chestnut Ridge. And then I grabbed a second chicken coop here because I didn't realize it was going to add a cow yet. So I was like, you know what, 2 of these will be good. And then I also decided to extend the actual building to make it a little bit larger here so that there would be more interior space for us to work with to sell different things. I end up having like a cafe set up on the inside so your Sims could like order coffee or pastries and things like that. I also end up having some of those like fridge coolers that I think came with, Get to Work. Honestly, I might be wrong on that, but I figured that would be a good spot to put some eggs and things grown on the farm that you want to keep refrigerated that are for sale. And I also have some items that are like sort of knickknacks or locally crafted items that I end up having for sale inside. And I am placing a selling table outside if you want to have your Sims set up and sell some more of their items there. So for this lot, I don't have it set as a residential. It's just a small business lot. I thought that made more sense, and I haven't done any like this yet. I've only done some of the businesses where I have an apartment above for your Sims to live in, which is so fun. I'm so glad we have that. But I thought this one just made more sense to have as a standalone business that your Sims can come and operate during the day, or if you don't want your Sim to be here, it would be just a nice place to visit, honestly. I think that's going to be the primarily like the primary way that I would use it is have my Sims come here to have a fun day out. Oh, and I used some of these banners from Cottage Living and kind of merged them into the columns here. They are like for the festivals, but there's one that has a bunch of produce on it. There's one that has lettuce on it. And I was like, oh, these are perfect for like a little farm market. So I decided to put those there, and I got all sorts of posters and things all around. So I'm just playing around with that now. I also did finally fix the terrain paint. It looks a lot better. And I dug through so much of Show Live Edit Objects and Debug to get so many different things to put on this lot to make it feel more realistic. I didn't fill up the freezers or the fridges that I want to put produce in because I figured that would be fine to do in gameplay. And you could probably grab some of that off of the gallery too if you'd prefer. And at this point, I am adding a sign here. This is a sign from the Strangerville game pack. Actually, both sign pieces here are. One of them is like a broken sign and the other one is this piece here. And I just used Tool to raise it and scale it to fit in here. And it just looks like a little grocery sign. I thought that that was kind of a cute way to do that. And then this little like shelf piece I'm placing inside right now that's covered in flowers. That's one of the new pieces in Show Live Edit Objects from Businesses and Hobbies. And I just thought it made a lot of sense to have fresh flowers for sale here as well. So just popping that inside, and I will get back to the interior once we finish up extending this area for a cow. So I'm just getting the shed for that now. That came with Cottage Living. So did the chickens. So they're a little bit of a different style than the rest of the building, but I think it looks okay. I ended up using roofing that is a similar color, and I was overall pretty happy with it. It was just kind of nice to build in Chestnut Ridge, even though typically when I try to build something that's more farm-like, I for some reason go to the world of Henford-on-Bagley, which came with Cottage Living. This fits very nicely in this world as well, especially because I created much more of an Americanized looking barn than the ones you would find in Henford. But moving inside now, I did separate the back portion of the barn to sort of be like an employee area. It's not exactly a kitchen, but it definitely has some elements of a kitchen. There ends up being a fridge back there as well as a sink. I also end up having the, I don't know what you would call it. It's the item where your Sims could make wine by stomping on grapes. It's like a big barrel they can do that in. So that ends up being back there, which I will be grabbing shortly. But we're in the front area now, and I'm getting lots of signage and clutter. I have those like open fridge pieces for your Sims to put eggs and other produce in. I grabbed this really cute sign that I have outside as well and kind of draped that over. And obviously there is the cafe portion for your Sims to go ahead and order whatever pastries or teas or coffees they would like. And I just end up really cluttering up this space with all sorts of plants and wines, produce, knickknacks, little things that just indicate you're at a local farm shop. And it was really fun. I love this little cow figurine that I have on the wall, or it wouldn't be called a figurine, but it's from Base Game and I thought it was really cute. So I did end up using that here. I also grabbed the metal chicken and this little apple clock. I thought that that was so cute. I think that's actually from Discover University, or it might be from high school years. It's from one of the school packs because teachers and apples, but I thought it was so cute. And I also ended up grabbing this signage here from Horse Ranch to be like the name of the place. So I ended up putting that above the front desk in there and also on the front of the building as well. And then I'm going through and getting some more items to help design the interior of this space, getting more clutter and items for sale. The one thing that's a little frustrating though with the new Businesses and Hobbies, if you're having a shop as a small business, you can only sell items that are on the display stands. So I did put one of those here so you could put some items on it, but other items I believe don't automatically go for sale. It works differently than the shops you can open with Get to Work. So that's a little confusing. I feel like you could decide how you want to run this if you have both of those packs, but I did decorate it as if you could sell anything that's in here, not just the items on the display racks. So in the center here, I have like some turnips. I also have some like cute flowers and a teapot. There is a picnic basket. And on the walls, I have all sorts of like old artwork, and there's additional plants in here. I have like a wagon wheel up on the wall, which I thought was really fun. And there's like soil you can buy and more plants. I end up putting these ones outside, and I end up actually grabbing some picnic benches to put out here as well, so your Sims could sit outside and eat. I imagine that would be really cute. It makes me think of these little shops like this where you could get like ice cream or baked goods and like sit outside and enjoy that. Obviously, I just have the cafe portion, so I assume your Sims are just going to get their beverages and pastries. But I ended up using these tables that are actually from Journey to Batu. I just love how a little bit more like run down or rustic they look, and how the seats are not one long bench, they're all individual ones. I just have always really liked that picnic bench, so I decided to use that here. And then I am starting to work on the back area, which is like that kitchen slash employee area, and also the bathroom here as well, which you can access from the exterior of the building. And then upstairs in this little loft space up above the employee area, I just decorated it with this little figurine. And it's also got some storage. There's some barrels up here and some bales of hay. And I believe I got some cobwebs and like stains on the wall too, because it is an old barn. I thought that was realistic. They're probably not climbing up there very often to dust it. So I just wanted to have the charm of that. And I believe I paint the ceiling in here as well. Yes. But anyway, back into the employee area now. I did get a big window back there, and then I started to do some landscaping outside. I didn't fully finish it. I'm going to be doing that later on. But here is the fridge I end up using. I also have this like flower arranging table. It's not a functional one. It's just a decorative one that I believe came with Eco Lifestyle, but I thought it was really pretty. So I put that back here, and then I got some food storage from Dine Out. And then since I was looking at Dine Out, I saw this one that had this like menu piece that has all of the vegetables on it. And I thought it would be perfect to put inside the store and also out front as like some of the things that they have for sale or that they grow in the area. So I really enjoyed that. And then there's some aprons back here as well near where your Sims could go ahead and make some wine. And then I did also grab a wall phone. This is not functional. It's one of the items that came with the nostalgia event that has been happening this past month. And I just think it's really fun and realistic. There's also a burglar alarm back there. And then this is going to be the bathroom. I'm using the same sink that I used in the employee area, and I just get some paper towels in here and a toilet and a couple of decorations. It's a pretty simple barn bathroom. I didn't want it to be too complicated. I just wanted to make sure there was some place for your guests, your customers to use the facilities if they needed to. And I got a little bit of artwork in here. I also put another one of these barrels here so that I could put some extra decor. I believe I only just put a lantern on there though. I just wanted extra light in the space, and I really like the painting that I have there as well, which I'm going to be moving, I think. Actually, no, I moved to this decal instead. This decal is actually from the Industrial Loft Kit, and I just thought it worked really nicely in this space, and I got a plant, and that should be it for that bathroom. And we're heading back outside to finish up some landscaping and get some extra details out by the farm animals. So I have some bales of hay, getting some more trees and flowers, and just like greenery in general. I believe I move around some of the grass as well, and getting some more terrain paint around where your Sims can grow all of their like larger produce items. You can grow, I believe, eggplants, pumpkins, watermelons, mushrooms. I'm not sure if those are the only four or if there are more, but that came with cottage living, and I just wanted to make sure there was a space for that. You can also just grow your regular vegetables there too. But these are the plots that allow you to grow those oversized ones if you would like to, which I thought was pretty realistic for this type of lot. But yeah, I'm just getting some more like lavender, low-lying green plants, some really pretty yellow ones, and trying to finish up this lot and make it blend into its surroundings and feel complete. And that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. And a massive thank you to my YouTube members for all of your support. If you'd like to become a member yourself, you can click the join button below the video or the link in the description. Enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.